Alright, what is up YouTube? Today I'm bringing you some Green Uta action. This deck is insane with the new starter deck. I seriously think that everybody needs to at least give this a try and see how you do. I think it's got game into pretty much everything because of the card advantage off of leader ability and the card advantage off of Nami. And then you also can play 4 of the Searcher event that re-stands the Dawn, so it's free and lets you grab any film card other than itself. So you are always going to be able to find the cards you need. You're going to draw a million of them. What decks can compete with that? Well, a lot of them, but let's jump into some gameplay and see how this goes. We've got our first game against Doflamingo, of course. Let's get some music going while we're at it. Here we go. Alright, so mulligan strategy. Personally, I'm looking for the 1-cost event, and I'm looking for Nami's. Okay, so we hit triple 1-cost event off the get, and we're going to dig for every card we need. In the Doflamingo matchup, this Brook is our Jinbei, basically. So we need it, we want it, and then it's Doflamingo, so we want to drop as many bodies as we can to avoid the hand size problems with pudding. So he swings 7. I'm just going to block immediately. He's got a Sengoku. He whiffs the flip, so we're in a great position. And then guess what? I'm going to load up Uta, draw a card that way, then drop Nami. No value search off Nami, but the thing is he's playing Dofi, so the only answer he's going to have is Law, and we're okay with that. Okay, so in this matchup, he goes and drops a Perona, stacking his deck. Our opponent does take his time. It can be a difficult deck, so. Swings 5, that means he's just going to drop a 4-drop on us. It is a Jinbei, Weevil, worst case scenario when it comes to things. Double body, and then we're going to find the Usopp to drop off this Brook. And then we also hit an Uta. Oh, actually, yeah, Katakuri is definitely better than Usopp here. Okay, he counters out. Or how does that Law end up in the bin? Yeah, we might have missed that one, but that's okay. Let's keep this going. It's our opponent's turn. He has 7 Dawn. He's just going to try and control board. Which I think I was going to say, I think I'm okay with that. But if we counter out here, it does force swings into the Nami, which I am okay with that as well. Okay, he goes Hancock. Gonna attach to the Doflamingo, throw another Dawn on there. Okay, he goes Teach. Definitely a little bit of an interesting line there. Don't know if that was ideal. He goes 8 into 5, so I'm gonna have to let that go. He goes 9 into 5. I'm gonna have to let that go. And then yeah, just counter out. And I've still got a pretty solid board here. We're gonna be able to go Brook Nami, which is gonna net us a card, and then Uta, which is gonna get us another card. So we're gonna go 6 into 6, force cards out of his hand. We do have Backlight, which is fantastic. So I'm sitting here counting Dawn. How much Dawn do I need to go Brook, Backlight, drop Nami, Search as well? Which we calculated out. We get a 2k off of Nami. We're going to just keep throwing 6s into these bodies. And then we're going to go throw 5 into the Jinbei. It looks like I didn't swing with the Brook. Oh. Yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake. So I missed the swing with Brook into Jinbei. I mean, there's an argument not to do it, but I don't think it's strong enough to not do it because the Brook ends up. Oh no. Yeah, the Brook ends up getting a card out of his hand, and then if he went Gecko, it would have been not worth it. he would have picked up Jinbei, been able to double body on me. But again, he would have had to use multiple cards out of hand, and that takes more time. So either way, I think it's a mistake not to swing with Brook. Also, let's switch up this background music a little bit. Okay. Yep, so our opponent's taking his time, he's swinging out. Oh, it's our turn, and we're gonna do 8. We're gonna try and take this board down. He's only got 4 cards, so swinging big here feels good. We're gonna swing big, maybe develop one of our blockers. He goes ahead and gives us the Jinbei no counter, which is leading me to believe I'm gonna be able to remove this board. Now he's got to give me 2k, 2k. And then we're going to drop the Gordon, which he does give me 2k, 2k. But I have a blocker. I have 4 health. I have a full hand. We're in a commanding position against Doflamingo. And this is definitely how this matchup can go. If, you know, you don't lose too much life too early. You don't get puddinged for too much. Yeah, and you see your Brooks. It'd be nice to see your Luffys as well on 7. You can drop 3 bodies if you go Luffy Brook in a 3 drop. So, but he Gravity Blades, removes 2 of my bodies, and then I'm just gonna keep pressuring his hand by swinging, and then we're gonna bump this all the way up to 8 because then, you know, he's got to give me the rest of his hand, and I'm going to develop 2 blockers. So I'm very safe. I have 4 health, 3 cards in hand. I'm winning the life game. I'm winning the hand game. He drops Weevil. That's going to help him a lot. I'm also winning board. Another note. Now here, if I'm my opponent, yep, I'm loading up this Boa and then swinging out. He drops Teach. Yep, we'll go 6 into 6, see if he's got a counter in his hand. He does not, so we're gonna remove board. Oh, he did, he just decided not to use it. And yep, we're gonna Shanks remove that. I think playing Luffy into Uta is a little bit safer, but that's okay. Now we have this Shanks, and we are going to be able to remove everything he plays. Yep. So we always load up 1 onto our Uta here. We want to draw cards off the leader ability, and then yeah, we're going to control board, develop blockers now. Go super wide. He's got 3 attacks, but I have 4 life still, so it's getting to the point where he's not going to be able to do anything. He goes 11. I just take this. Not a big deal. And then I hit the I'm invincible, and now I definitely just have game. So we're just gonna pepper him down with these 5s. Gonna go 12. This is a little bit out of order. I could have gone 11 first. But what I'm trying to do is get the 6 rested things for Katakuri to be a 6k. Yeah, which that ends up being enough. I'm Invincible is a game-winning card. Definitely worth playing. Let's jump into this next one. We're against Marco. Now, Marco's got some interesting new toys with the new gate. New. Okay. That's a terrible joke. Yep, but we start off with a Searcher, and we have a Nami, so this is basically the ideal hand. I do often favor swinging 6 and then playing this 2-drop Luffy, because when Uta's rested, it is a 4k body. So just 1 Dawn and it's a 5k, and 5k is enough to pressure life, which is mostly what this deck wants to do. So he swings 6, we're going to give him a 2k. We want to stay relatively healthy, and we're not worried about giving cards up from our hand, because we're gonna get a lot of them back. Here I pick up the backlight over the I'm Invincible. I think backlight being a really good removal option, depending on the type of Marco deck he's on, can be very helpful. It can also help me rest down blockers to go for game. So also seeing 2 of those means it's more likely that I'm going to see the I'm Invincible than it is the backlight, because I only play 3 backlight. So if I ended up needing it, it would have been harder to find. Anyways, he pressures with the Rush Ace. Very good card, but I've got a board still, so we're going to go 6. He counters out. I think about using this Uta to restand this Nami. That's okay. If he wants to swing in a Nami, that's not my life. He puddings me, which is pretty unfortunate, making me think I maybe should have countered out a little more aggressively. But yep, he ends up going very aggressive, swinging his blocker as well. But yep, so we're going to be able to just swing board. We want to save enough Dawn to drop this Luffy for sure. Pick up another backlight. 4 into 4. So we wipe board, we develop 2 more bodies. And yeah, I'm feeling in a fantastic position. All he has is a pudding. I will say that's like one of the dangers of playing for pudding is at the end of it, yeah, you ripped a few cards out of my hand, but all you have is a pudding on board. He does pop my 7-drop Luffy blocker and does go for board. And yeah, this is going to be pretty rough for me. I do block 2k to make it look like I misplayed. Maybe a little bit of deception, probably not worth it, but I figured there maybe is something there. So anyways, we drop Nami. And then we're gonna I'm Invincible just to put max pressure on him. 7/7, and then I can either go after this pudding or face here. This will be a 5k swing. Go after the pudding, just remove board. I'm in a fairly commanding position right now. And that's the other thing. I do think I'm Invincible is really strong at putting you into a position to go for game. So like sometimes in the middle of the game, it's totally worth it to go I'm Invincible just to put them down to 1, you know, or put them down to low life, rip cards out of their hand. It's just a very strong play. And I think it really puts decks to the test that don't run enough counter, or they potentially have a lot of bricks. So we top deck another I'm Invincible, and it's like, well, there's literally no reason not to go for game here. He counters out. We're going to go 7/7/7. And that last card has to be counter. And even if it is, he has 0 cards. Yep. And that's the game. So there's a Marco game. Let's jump into Purple Luffy. Another popular deck that is now very strong thanks to the starter decks. I actually tonight I played in a starter deck battle, and it went really great. I went 3-0 on Purple Luffy. I got a winner card. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then out of my prize packs, I also hit a full art chopper. So alt art, super cool. Very happy with that. Purple Luffy's very strong. Anyways, let's continue watching this gameplay. We've got the Uta. We're on the odd curve, which is ideal. We're going to go 6, and we're going to drop this Luffy. Even though it's a 2k counter, again, I like having pressure on board. He just helps you control board and pressure life, which, you know, I think I value that heavily in this style of deck. And also keeping hand count low because I don't want to lose to Law, right? I would be at 7. He could have ripped 2 cards from my hand and swung for 5, which would have sucked. So. But let's see. Our Luffy's taking his time. He countered out with a Bonclay. So I'm assuming he has another one, because that's a pretty key ramp piece that he threw away. He does not. He plays a Zoro. That's a good card as well. Picks up a... Not sure. I got to do a better job of, in these replays, hovering over what they search. I do forget, though. I just am very into these games. We're on 5 Dons, so we're going to go Brook Katakuri and swing with Leader. We're loaded up with 2K counters, and we've got the semblance of a board. Which is great. He takes a life to ramp. Man, I wonder if that card was cut off. I didn't even look. Let's see. I went like this. Oh, yeah. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Cool. Alright, let's continue. Let's focus on this game. He drops Onami Usuhachi, resting down the Brook. He's going to try and control board. I counter out. What else is he going to do? Oh, he was deciding the discard. Okay. So he's got 6 cards in hand. A pretty weak board. He dropped a 2K counter out of his hand. We're just going to go 6 into 6. Probably drop this Nami and go for maximum card advantage. We're gonna want to dig for our big bodies like 7-drop Luffy as well as Shanks. So we're being a little bit deceptive with our attacks here too. We go 6 into Zoro, then we go 5 into Leader, then 6 into Zoro. Obviously, like, he's probably not falling for anything here, but it does look like he's on a straight vanilla, you know, starter deck here. So, or at least he might be. I mean, I just saw the Jinbei, the 5 cost blocker, which is a very strong card, don't get me wrong, but I think the space is a little bit tight. No, he played Bonclay, so never mind. He's just on his own little build here. He goes 3 into 4, obviously a mistake. I'm thinking I'm probably going to Shanks whatever he does this turn. I think the crazy good thing is if he goes Kaido here, pops something, swings, that's fine. He gets rid of those 2 things, and I just follow up with Shanks, pop the Kaido, and we're almost at board parity. Like, I still have the Katakuri, and I'm going to be able to swing 6 into this Zoro twice. Oh, wait. Oh, I made the mistake spectating as well. I thought I was on 10 Dawn. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, check your plays before you check your Dawn before you make plays. Man, that was bad. That was really bad. And then he uses the event to counter out of that. It's a little bit weird in my opinion. I don't think this Zoro is that important. I mean, just look at the board state. I'm at 5 life still. We've got an equal amount of characters. Yes, he has Kaido, but he knows that I'm playing Shanks. He might have even seen me get Shanks off of the Uta reveals. So, yeah, he swings 7 into 6. The reason that I choose to counter out here is if he wants to commit a swing with Kaido into Katakuri, I'm very happy with that. And in fact, that's saving me a life, essentially. See this 7k swing, saving me a life, essentially. So I'm totally okay with that. If he goes 10-7, I'm going to take both of those, go down to 3. Yep. He doesn't swing with Kaido, which is just so greedy to me. Yep, I just remove board, develop a bunch of bodies, and pass. Okay, I awakened the Luffy by discarding I'm Invincible. Totally unnecessary. Didn't need to do that at all. He goes 9 into 4. At this point, I'm a little confused about what my opponent is doing. No offense to my opponent. I just don't think these are the best plays. Actually, I mean like offense, because come on. Anyways, swings into the Uta again, and now I'm gonna just shanks this Kaido and swing out. It's a little unfortunate. I wish I could get a Dawn onto this Luffy, but that's okay. He's got literally nothing. If he wants to block with this kid, I'll swing into it with Luffy. Or he can just give me counter from hand. Either way, I'm very happy. We're basically in what I would call an unlosable state. Especially against purple. So he ends up countering out. No, he took it and then took it again. So, I mean, a little greedy not to block there, but I mean, that's a pretty strong indication that he has a non-counter card. Or he did have a 2K and he just chose not to counter. Well, yeah, that's Purple Luffy. Strong deck. But I'm telling you, Uta puts so much pressure and gets so many cards. It's really hard to deal with. And now we're playing against a black deck. Starter deck 14, Monkey D. Luffy. Great deck. But man, I'm telling you, Uta with these new cards is just better. Yep, so we swing 6 on the off chance that we draw a 2-drop. A little bit greedy, but I don't hate it. He gives me a 2K. I'm happy to see those gone out of his hand. And looking at this, we drop Nami. Again, we're greedy, so what we do a lot of the time is we maximize 4 cards. So we go Nami on 4 rather than Brooks Nami, because I don't care about building the board at the moment. Especially like I'm not staring down much here. I care about drawing cards, because more cards, more options, more counter. Yeah. Again, probably not optimal, but it feels good, so that's what we do. We're taking our time here. Oh, I'm sorry. Our opponent is taking their time. Swings 5. I go down to 4 life. So, I mean, a little risky, but man, look at how many cards I have. And I just keep drawing more. So, he lets it go. Wowzers. Oh my gosh. And now I'm going to get double Nami search this turn, because I'm going to Brook Nami. Oh my gosh, I have so many cards. This is so great. And then I pick up New Genesis. I'm going to grab that card 9 times out of 10 off of a Nami search, because unless I see the card I need in the situation, because it's a free search. So it's just straight deck thing to grab New Genesis. And I don't know how else to argue that that's fantastic, but it is. And then he geckos for basically 0 value here. And I'm sitting on a monstrous hand. I'm going to pick up 2K counter off the New Genesis. And I'm just thinking, okay, how many Nami searches and Uta draws can I do this turn? we're gonna do probably... And for some reason, he doesn't take this free block with Borsalino. Yep, so I decide not to get too greedy. And, oh wait, wait, I did get greedy because look, I can go Luffy, Uta, and Uta ability, dumping a film card to put 1 on Uta and swing 6 and get to draw a new card. So basically I dumped a 1k counter in hopes of hitting something better. And now I've got 2 blockers, 2 Namis and a Brook. He's at 2 life and I have 1, 2, 3. I have 10 cards in hand. I don't even know what he could do right now. I don't feel like I can lose. He's got to play back to back to back to back to removal every turn. And he's got to swing into board heavy. Because I'm going to counter out of everything. Okay, I only have 9k counter though. Okay, and he swings, he ends up swinging 9 into 6, and then I block with Luffy 2k, 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 1k, wait no, 2k, 2k, no, 2k, 1k, ugh, okay, and then he goes 7 into 6, which is just a 2k, which I had, and then 6 into 6, which is a 1k, so I still get to keep my whole board. Yeah, I'm down to, you know, 5 cards, but guess what? I'm going to draw 3 cards this turn. I'm going to draw 3 cards. What's he going to do? And I'm just going to swing 6s. Oh my gosh. And this leaves me like I'm invincible plays. I can Uta dump a card to put a Dawn onto Uta. Oh. Yeah, and look at this. Now we've got an I'm invincible play. Oh my gosh, and he had nothing but bricks in his hand. That is so bad. Look at that. 6 cards, 6 bricks. Crazy. Okay, that's our game into Black Luffy. Let's take a peek at Gecko Moria, another black deck. Let's put it to the test. Does it pass the Uta test? I don't know. We definitely got to try and find a Lucci opponent one of these times. I'd love to test Uta into Lucci. In fact, if you have tested Uta into Lucci, please let me know. I'd love to know how it goes. And if you have any like strategy when you're playing Uta, I'd love to hear it. Please drop it in the comment section. Let's chat. Maybe I need to make a Discord just so we can talk about some of these deck theories. I do think Uta's so strong though, and he's kind of starting off weak. Drops a Dr. Hogback, not as good as, you know, the Perona, which would have made me neg a card. But hey, I mean, I would have negged a card and then I would have drawn it back with Uta. So we're going even. We're going so even with this deck. You can just be so greedy because of the amount of cards you can draw. He goes 6 into 5. We're going to give him a 2k. Want to stay healthy. We draw cards naturally, so not super concerned. 5 into 5. Going to go ahead and give him a I'm Invincible. I'm Invincible is a crazy strong card, but we have 3 of them. And then Backlight is just premier removal into a deck like this. And where we're just going to swing 5/5, and then we're going to be able to backlight that thing if it lives. While still ripping cards out of his hand. So it's a very good little value proposition there for us. And then we go ahead and Nami search into Luffy, which is going to be huge. You get to swing 7 into face, which insanely strong. He's got a Laboon, so we gotta be worried about some removal here. But honestly, I have a full board. Again, I'm still at 5 life. Like, I'm not afraid of too much. And he brooks and gets rid of the Gordon, which is kind of a mistake. Going after the Nami is definitely the right play. And then he goes 7 into Brook. I think he was worried about, like, the Gordon block and not removing a guy that way. But I think getting this Nami off the board is highest priority. Because, I mean, the turn you play it and play 1 Dawn, you go even. And then every turn after that it gets to swing, you're going to go +1. So, here with New Genesis, you can't grab New Genesis. So, that is why I don't grab it. And then I grab a 2K. The way this game is going, it's looking like I'm not going to get to a Shanks turn. So, yep, and then we just Luffy into double block her because we really want to keep this Nami alive. And he's at 1, so we're like looking for the I'm invincible angle to go for game. And I do think our opponent is kind of out of options here. He drops Stussy, pops the Gordon. I need to read that card because I'm pretty sure he could pop something better than Gordon. But yeah, I mean, he's in trouble. This is just backlight the Laboon, swing out. And now we've got double I'm invincible. That's game. Nothing but bricks. So, yep. And then here is our last game against another Purple Luffy. This game was good, so I really wanted to include it. Let's bump this up. Yep, so we've got, like, honestly a perfect opening hand. Gordon is great because it turns our events into non-bricks. And then we've got Nami, New Genesis, and we find a Brook off of that. So we're going to have a very strong curve. We're on the odd curve, so we're going to get to attack and draw first. Swing 6, and we're going to drop this Gordon 100% of the time. And let's see. He, of course, counters out. He wants to take his life himself. And then I just block with Gordon. This is just one of those matchups where your event cards are really good, so you're going to want to keep them. And then I've got a lot of cards in hand. I am under threat of a Law. And he goes to 8 Dawn, so he's going to get a draw off this Sanji. We should just counter out here. He still laws me, which is pretty unfortunate. Gets rid of my Shanks. Bonclay, swing 6. We're going to keep countering out. Oh, okay, we just take it. Try to recover some of these cards that we lost off of Law. Yep, so we're just going to keep crashing 6 into this Sanji. And then probably just go Brooks Katakuri here. Oh, backlight. We can backlight that. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so if we backlight that, then now we gave Bonclay no good targets. So the most he can swing with Bonclay is 5. Oh, okay, so he Lins me. I'm going to go to 5 health. This Nami's going to the bottom. He goes back up to 4, but he's down to 3 cards. And I've got a Shanks for when this Lin swings. And he actually swings with the law as well. Yep, so we're gonna go after the law, of course. It's a free swing. Brook Nami, search. We hit Uta. Uta's great here. I kind of like loading all of my Dawn onto the Luffy. Yep. Get that law off the board. Now, again, he's got no good targets with Bond Clay. Drops Queen. Dumps Jet Gatling. He's only got 5 Dawn left. Not worried about much. At that rate, he uses 2 of his Dawn. We're going to take that, putting us down to 4. Goes 10. Take that as well. We've got the Shanks to knock that out. And then, like, best case scenario, he swings with Bond Clay here, too. That's really good for us. So it's definitely worth starting to counter out here. And then we're going to deal with this Bond Clay, of course. Five, he can take a free block. And then we go 6 into 6. Try and rip a card out of his hand. He lets it go. Shanks, get rid of that Lin and Nami. And now we're even on life, but again, like, I'm up on cards because of this Nami and Uta value. Drops Magellan, irrelevant. Bond Clay, also irrelevant. He's going to try and control that Uta now, and it's just too late. I give him 2 2Ks, and yeah, we're just going to swing out. And we see this 7-drop blocker Luffy. He does need to be careful here if he doesn't counter out right. Yep. And just like that, the deck plays a lot of bricks, so it's very hard. We get to go for game. And that's that. Okay, let's jump straight into the deck. Okay, so this is the list I ended up on. The only, like, probably strange things is I'm on 2 Usopp. I cut an Uta and a Gordon for that, which are normally 4 ofs, because I noticed for the Brook value, we don't play enough 3-drops. We've got the Namis, the Katakuris, and the Utas, but the Utas don't feel very good to drop off of it. So we really want something substantial like this Usopp. Obviously, when we have better options, we're just going to drop those, but this was just to round out the Brook. But we're on the 4 Sanji. We're on 12 2K counters because I think this deck just takes advantage of them way too well with the amount of cards you draw. So that's Chopper's purely a 2K counter, and you can get away with that again because of the consistency of this deck. New Genesis, Nami, and Uta ability just power you through this deck. So the 4 Nami, 4 Brook, 4 7-drop Luffy, 2 Uta. Literally the only card you need to buy is this Nami. So yeah, get your hands on these Namis. They're so good. On 3 Uta, as you saw, there's crazy value with Uta on 4 because you can dump a card. So you could dump like a brick. Like, let's say you have backlight in a matchup that it doesn't matter. Dump it. Go for Uta. Put the 1 Dawn on Uta and swing to draw a new card. Also, it helps with, like, I'm invincible turns. Gordon turns your, your songs into not bricks, which is huge. Like, I know 0 power is not as good as, like, Borsellino, but Gordon having the added upside makes him a little bit better. in my opinion. The 4 Katakuri, this card is just almost always a 6k body. Yeah, Katakuri's sick. Another great addition from the new starter deck. 3 Shanks. I would do 4, but you just see it too often at 4. And again, you'll find them with New Genesis and Namis. 4 of this Luffy, 2 Backlight, 3 I'm Invincible. I think you could switch those numbers around depending on what you're expecting. I think I'm Invincible is better into the bigger decks, so like the black decks, the purple decks, but I think the Backlight is better into the more aggressive decks because controlling board is highest priority. And then but Backlight still gets value into the bigger decks, which is why you still want it. So yeah, and then the 4 New Genesis basically makes this deck a 46 card deck. So yeah, just really ups the consistency of this deck, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button for more content. I'm trying to get you a video every week. Right now I'm doing multiple, but the main goal is 1 a week. Yeah, if there's any other type of content that you'd like to see, let me know. Just hit me in the comment section. Yeah, till next time, peace.